Hi, Jen Viviant here, QHHT Level 3 Practitioner. There's been so much going on right now, so many levels of change and so many levels of energies that people are feeling and becoming aware of. And through it all, it's all about evolving our consciousness and evolving our awareness of where those energies are coming from. There's no surprise then that the whole disclosure movement of the last 7 or 8 years has been strengthening, and the conversations around different entities that might be off-world or spaceships, that sort of thing, has been proliferating all over the place, even just in a common conversation you might hear in a cafe. So to me, as a light worker, that's very, very exciting. And as a practitioner, I'm seeing this happening all the time with my clients. So it brings me a lot of joy to share with you a recent client story. He asked me to keep his name anonymous, but he very, very joyously offered to let me use the experiences he had in a story. So when he came, I think when he emailed me to book a session, he told me that he was having these frequent dreams. He felt that there was a presence off-world of some kind of entity that had been communicating with him. So they communicated in his dreams, and he has a very vivid memory of age 6 or 7 standing on his bed and looking surrounded on his bed. He was looking at on the floor around his bed with all these people that were not human, and they were much smaller. He had a very specific description of them. And these beings are not as well known as some of the beings that we frequently hear about. So I was quite excited by this today because he also resonated a lot with Andromeda and believes that these beings are from Andromeda or beyond. And that is an area that has been less discovered. There are fewer Andromedans on the planet. If you want to follow this to the fullest extent, then there are Pleiadians from Sirius, from Lyra, from Arcturus. So these beings were specifically called the Jowlen, and the beings that he also saw during his session were a frequency match, as he described that the colors, the Jowlen would normally be presented as blue people, and the people that he saw in his vision were purple. And what he received information about from them during his session was that since they are a frequency match to each other, the purple and the blue, they can cross message, sort of like they're adapters for each other, and they can hold the same space for the same form of energy. And those were the people that he was connecting with. It turns out that he connects with them all the time. Now, here's what was so interesting to me about this session. Frequently, people take a little bit of time to get into the deepest form of trance. It's very natural. It's just like when you go to sleep at night, you're starting to calm down when you close your eyes, and you might have a few drifting thoughts, and then those thoughts get a little bit disjunct, and then you start to maybe have some dreams, and then clunk, you're asleep. Well, in this case, my client kind of went straight into the deepest energetic capacity that he was capable of, and his body retained that energy pretty well, but there was a little bit of a recalibration, and I'm going to share this recording later so you can hear it, but he is yawning like I have never seen someone yawn before. He was yawning for several minutes, and he was each time he yawned, it was like just like the largest, most dramatic yawn you've ever heard. You'd think that that was enough, and he would yawn again and again. And after some time, he needed to come up and take a break, needed to go to the bathroom, and we hadn't been down for very long, so I suggested to him that he'd be okay, but he really needed to go. So I think the recalibration really set with his body in a way that he needed to come back up, take a breath, and then go back down. And he did go back down phenomenally into the deepest state of trance, right back where he was before, and continued in this incredible space where he was surrounded by these, as he described them, the purple energy collective, who are the frequency match to the Jowlen. And I just want to describe a little bit of this place he went to. It was a planet that we might think of as a physical place. It sounds very physical, but he describes everything in terms of its energy. So here we go. The landscape is all of these rocks just jutting up, and he sees fissures in the rocks, and he sees sort of like a steam coming out of the fissures in the rocks. And when he comes into that scene, he's lying on the hard rock. And there, like, some fissures are maybe underneath him. And he notices that the sky is purple, and then it's blue during the day, but it's purple at night. It's decidedly a different color than what we normally would describe as our nighttime sky here on Earth. And he was kind of curious if there was any vegetation. Maybe not. It seemed much more like it was jagged in terms of rocks, and near and far he was seeing a lot of the same. And this space, these rocks, these fissures, were all the energy that he is so used to. That's his home energy. It's his home planet. So going there that was the recalibration. So he has been here on Earth for a while, holding this Earth body together and not getting the kind of energetic balancing that he has been so accustomed from this home space. So, and that is what all the yawning came through for. It was just opening up space for him to hold the energy. So he took his little break, came back, went back down, and then we started talking as if he was already in the deepest state. Like I said, it was so quick. And so we started talking, the conversation about needing to go to the bathroom, and the third person started happening. So I was like, oh, well, can I ask some questions? He went right into about how his kidneys and his bladder, which were talking points that he wanted to heal physically, what those were representing, and part of why he needed to go use the bathroom while we were recalibrating his energy. And so this whole, I want to make sure I get the points that I want to share with you. He is so close to this energy all the time because the Jowlen are communicating with him. They know it's a very hard job to be here on Earth. They know that there are not very many people like him here. They described to him, one of his questions was, is my soul person here? Do I have a soulmate? And the answer was, no, your soulmates are all holding space for you in this other dimension for your eternity of your life here on this earth. And that is in order for you to maintain the structure that you need so that you can continue forward. So they work with him at night in order to stay here on earth. So this energy, I mean, this tells me that this energy is just such the highest frequency. It is so light and fine and full. So there we are in the highest frequency of energy. And he then realizes that he has held space for others of his soul group there in the past, and that is always that's how it has to go, that only one of them goes at a time, and their body, so his current body is here and there, it's bilocated, so that they can make sure that the structure of the body maintains enough form to continue. So we talked a little bit more. He really wanted to know the name of the planet. That was actually one of his questions was sort of related to that. It was, where am I from? What's the name of the place I'm from? And what are my people called? We talked about those things, and the name of the planet, you know, we've seen this before in some of Dolores Cannon's books. She's seen this before too, that the name is so beyond the comprehension of human understanding and even out of the range of human hearing, that if he wouldn't be able to say it with a human voice. So I asked if he could describe it in a different way. Is it a sound? And yeah, in fact, it is a sound that is so many, many, many octaves higher than, now I think he said it was a G, but then he backtracked later and is just describing it, just any particular pitch. It's many, many octaves higher beyond what we can hear. So that's the name of the planet. And that's significant because it's all high, high vibration. And what we do know about star seeds and the origins in Andromeda and beyond is that is some of the highest vibrational energy. So imagine what that is doing here on Earth. And he is so important here to be here right now. And he was wondering where he should be living and what should he be doing. He has 3 jobs right now, and wondering, should I continue these or should I go on with something else? And his higher self said, it really doesn't matter what you're doing. Just whatever you're doing is fine. Wherever you go, it's up to you. We just want you there. So his energy, and I suspect some of you are also holding space here, holding the energy higher so that we can continue to evolve. It's an immense job here on Earth, and you know, we are all pitching in and helping in different ways. Sometimes we don't know who's doing what and to what end their actions are serving. So I'm going to leave with just a little tidbit of personal vulnerability. We don't ever know what's going to happen next. We don't really know sometimes what's happening right now. And the best thing that we can all do is practice kindness, practice surrender, practice love for ourselves and for others, and trust that you are exactly where you are because you need to be there, exactly right there, right now. And hold up that love, hold up that kindness, and be true to yourself. Have a great day.
Are you coming off of the cloud yet?
Yeah.
What do you notice?
I thought this was Atlantis, maybe. I'm seeing a lot of purple.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more.
Sorry, I'm just waiting for the pictures to come to me.
That's okay. You can describe even the smallest details. They start to come through as it becomes clear.
The sky is different. The sky is purple. It's not blue.
The sky is purple?
Uh-huh. There's a lot of purple here. I feel like there's pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
Rocks.
Can you describe those to me?
I'm seeing like sheer rock walls. There's like a pyramid on top of one of the mountains. don't know where I am.
That's okay.
Atlantis might have been just context. I don't know if this is Atlantis.
That's
No.
all right.
Now the sky is turning white.
Can you tell me more about that? How it goes from purple to white?
That might be night to day. It might be whitish gray in the daytime and purple at night.
Mm-hmm. So is it becoming daytime?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in the newer whitish gray color, you can take another look around your surroundings and you can see a little bit more as things are becoming more and more clear to you. What else do you notice?
I think there's energy coming out of the ground.
Oh.
I think that's some of the white.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me more about that?
It's like it's part of the rocks.
The energy?
Yeah. It's like coming out of fissures in the rocks. I think I'm not to give Earth perspective, but I feel like it's hard to give context because it's so different.
That's okay. You can just tell me the first thing that comes to mind. It's all good.
This feels like home. That's alien compared to Earth, but
Mm-hmm.
the energy's better here.
Oh.
I don't think there's anyone around right now.
You said the energy's better there? Can you tell me about that?
It's more alive. It's lighter.
Mm.
Yeah, it's purple and white, and the scenery is jagged.
Can you tell me more about the jagged scenery?
It feels more alive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get a sense of there might be vegetation or trees here, but this place, it feels holy. It feels like the energy's alive. There's light in the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was the light that I was seeing. Oh, maybe it's a temple.
Oh.
And yeah, like the energy is pulsing.
Mm.
It feels good to be here. I think that's why my body's yawning so much. Oh, this is like it's a recalibration from home.
Mm.
Oh, Earth is tough.
So this is a recalibration.
Yeah, from home.
Oh.
Oh.
Can you tell me more about that?
Oh, man.
Does the yawning have something to do with the recalibration?
Yeah. I think this is how I or my friends or people prepared me for coming to Earth. My whole body is tingling. Maybe I'm floating in the light. There's definitely some temple stuff.
Tell me more about that.
It's like the energy is filling me. This is a recalibration from home. I don't know how. I don't know if a part of me is still there. I think the part from there is connecting with the part. The part of me here.
So, and as it's calibrating and recalibrating him, you said that he's feeling tingling.
Yeah, the body here is tingling.
Can you tell me more about the body? Look down and what do you see?
We're trying to align the body here with the body on Earth. Oh, man.
And tell me more about that.
This is much higher energy. It's pure energy. It's almost like my body here is having a hard time absorbing it all. I don't want to say it's difficult, but it's just a jump. Oh, man.
Well, I know the higher self knows exactly what the body can handle and would never give him more than he can handle. So this must be something he can handle.
I feel my fingers and my toes. Oh.
Can you tell me more about
It's almost like the neuropathy system, the symptoms. There's like this energy trying to break through to Earth energy. And I wonder if is there a problem with the kidneys, or the kidneys are having a hard time adjusting? It's like they're sending energy to the kidneys now. It's like that's the sticking point.
I see. Is it okay if I ask questions about his kidneys? So, you said that it's a sticking point?
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
I think there's so much fear energy here on Earth. It's like the kidneys are absorbing the Earth fear energy. And they're having a hard time
Mm.
being a conduit for the higher energy.
Mm.
But now that I know what the high energy feels like, maybe I'll have an easier time bringing it here.
Mm. So you say that earth energy of fear was causing his kidneys
Yes.
to have trouble?
Yes.
And where was that emotion stored in his body?
In the kidneys,
Mm-hmm.
but I still feel the thing he's been dealing with now in the root of the sacral was also picking up some of that.
Oh, are they connected?
I think so. I think it's all, those lower systems are connected.
Uh-huh. Well, what was he hoping to learn from experiencing this fear of earth energy, the fear energy on earth?
I think to help feel it and transmute it.
Can you tell me more about that process?
He's good at feeling. Oh, I know. He can set it here. He was holding it. He didn't know where to send it.
Oh.
He can send it back here. He was the bridge between there and here. Here being wherever we are now, and there is Earth.
Okay, so send it back here, which is more like a home.
Yeah.
For his
Yes.
energy.
So it doesn't have to be stuck in the system anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He can send it back here to this. Oh, the rocks. The rocks can help absorb the Earth energy.
Oh.
That's what the white light is.
Coming through the fissures?
Yes.
Between the rocks.
So that gets sent up through his kidneys. Because he's laying on his back.
Oh.
That's the tie. That's the clearing.
Oh. So he's laying. Can you explain more to that effect?
Yeah, so I'm there and here. So me here can visualize this place and see me laying here,
Mm-hmm.
whoever here is,
Mm-hmm.
and send the energy back to here. And the here place will clear the energy from the earth place. Oh, this is powerful.
Yeah.
Sending all the energy back.
Okay, so he's sending lots of fear energy back.
Correct.
And he's transmuting it. Can you tell me
Yes.
more about that?
Being tied to the fissures and the rocks, and the light comes up,
Mm-hmm.
and it shoots energy out, but it can also pull it back in.
Mm-hmm.
And that place is strong enough to pull the fear energy out from Earth.
Oh.
And back into the rocks and back into where there is. So the kidneys don't have to hold it. I think the kidneys didn't know what to do with it.
Uh-huh. What happens to that energy when the white light pulls energy back into the
It
rocks?
gets totally dissipated. It gets sucked into the rocks, and the white light comes up through the rocks and goes into me. Goes into my body. The two bodies are tied together. The body on Earth is a analog for the body there. And it clears it.
And you said that the white light goes into his body here on Earth?
Yes, from this one there.
So is it an energy exchange?
It is. It's exactly what it is. That's why I'm yawning so much, because it's happening now. Oh, and that could come into the heart too. Oh, it could come into everything.
Tell me more about that.
This place is a way to clear earth energy. It's the heart energy. This is it's almost pure source energy, but it's on a planetary level. So it's like as jagged as these rocks are, the energy can pierce me. And when it pierces me, it ties itself back to the earth place. Oh, it's like I'm in two places at once.
Well, this is really profound for him because he's been saying how tired he's been.
Yeah. I feel light. And now where I know this place is, I can tie back into it.
Yeah, he can come back anytime, right?
Yes.
And what would he need to do to come back to it?
I think just visualize. And know the tingles. It makes his feet tingle, his hands tingle, his legs tingle. And so the neuropathy that he thought that he was feeling that was bad is actually the energy from there coming through. So it's actually good. He doesn't have to fight it.
Wonderful. And what's he noticing in his heart right now?
It's opening.
What was causing it to close in the first place? What was causing the discomfort he had?
I'm trying to put my fingers on it. I think he felt like he had to protect himself. I mean, he knows this, but this energy is so pure. It can clear out anything. And re-energize. It's just floating above the ground. But I can feel how intense the energy is here. So it's like an energy recharge. And I don't know, it's just the place. Just being in that place.
Sounds wonderful. So
Yes.
what's he experiencing now in his heart and the rest of his body?
An opening, a recalibration, getting used to it in his body. Because it comes up through the whole spine, all the energy systems. It's like a fissure. It's like if there were a fissure of energy, and that's the spine. The fissure of energy there is coming up through the spine here. And just transmuting everything. I don't even know if I have words for it. I don't even know about the place other than what it feels like, but that's a super high energy recalibration adjustment. It's almost like just feel what it feels like to remember what it feels like.
Describe in any way you need to. It doesn't have to make sense, but just so that he can remember later.
It's powerful. source energy. It's what he is. It's almost like the light can come out of him. It wants to come out of his hands. It wants to come out of his mouth. It wants to come out of all the chakra centers. Even the ones above and below. Oh man. Below the feet, above the head. I don't know if he can describe this. It's other than a recalibration.
Well, tell me about when the light comes on in the hands, mouth, and the chakra centers. What's going to happen then?
It's powerful. It's like breaking through the old. This is getting closer to who he really is, who we all really are. The Paul Selig books have been preparing for this. It's deep within this planet and source. It's like these crystals of light. They're just breaking through the lower level energies. I feel it in my solar plexus now.
What's it feel like?
Energy coming out, energy no longer being restrained. Now I can feel it coming out the back and the root or sacral. The energy's going both frontwards and backwards.
And the root and sacral, he had so much tension.
Yeah.
What's going on now?
It's breaking through. It's like it's melting away all the... This is a very high level recalibration.
Tell me more about it. You're just so full of incredible healing information for him right now.
I think we're supposed to spread this to others.
Yeah?
I don't know how. I think just being present. I see it coming out of my hands. Coming out of my third eye. Starting to come out of my throat chakra.
What's it going to be like when he starts spreading this to others?
I think when he smiles or laughs is how it spreads. So he's very funny. But now he's channeling this energy from this other place. And it bursts through the chest. It bursts through. It's the white source energy. It almost doesn't have a chakra. It almost is every chakra. Because I think all the colors together are white. And this is saying white can actually come out of any chakra center. It doesn't have to be specialized colors.
So the white energy coming through each of his chakras in his hands and his mouth, it's the source energy of all the chakras combined. Of all the chakra colors combined.
Yeah.
And that sounds really amazing. What all can that do for him or for others?
Well, it'll start healing from the inside out.
Oh.
I don't even think he needs to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people will be witness to this. It's almost like Earth stuff doesn't matter. Like, he could be a garbage man, he could be a writer, he could be whatever. I know this will come through no matter what. The energy is more important than vocation.
The energy is more important than the vocation.
Yeah, it's almost separate than vocation. It's like it's like a river. It just flows out of him. It's now that this crack has been opened, it can't be unopened. So he's wondering if this will tire him out, being this open, and the answer is no.
Oh?
Because the energy is coming from this other place. It's his body's a vessel. The body's a vessel.
I see.
And while there are no guarantees, he may see the health issues clearing up over time.
Okay.
All that's important for him is to remember this and feel the connection and be the connection.
Okay. How often would be good for him to connect this to himself?
It feels like I was looking for a frame. It feels like putting an earth frame on this is hard because it's existing all the time and odd time. It feels like focusing on this feeling and this almost spiky energy. But when I say spiky, I mean like how facets of like a quartz are. They're flat and sharp. That energy, he just has to remember it and focus on it before he goes to bed. It doesn't feel like there's a frame because this connection is outside of time. But getting readjusted is before bed is important.
Why is that?
Just to tap back into it, to keep the energy flowing and the connection going.
Does something happen while he's sleeping that needs for him to be readjusted before he goes to sleep?
Oh, this is what the Jowlen are for. They're helping bridge the gap. Oh, this is what the nightly stuff is for the Akashics. They're making sure that things are working well. They're like checking in, testing. Oh, his earth body is he needs to come back for a little bit.
He needs to come back?
Yeah, he needs to use the bathroom.
Oh, he can
He
do
needs
that.
to drink some water. He needs to eat some food. This is very strong. So his earth body, this might be the Jowlen now. His earth body needs attendance.
Okay. So he can use the bathroom, but is it okay if we wait until later to have some food?
He's hungry. He needs to finish that protein bar.
Okay. So when he goes to the bathroom and finishes his protein bar and water, he'll be able to go right back.
Correct.
Even deeper than before.
Correct.
No problems.
I'm in Rome, the fall of Rome. I've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
This is why he's being triggered by events now.
Okay, tell me more.
Not sure. Did Rome have a Senate? I think it was somehow in the government giving warnings. And they didn't listen. And these times are similar to those times.
He was giving warnings to others.
To others, to he's sort of politician. I think the Greeks had the Senate. I don't know if there was a Roman Senate. There was an emperor, but
Tell me more about it. Giving warnings to others.
no one believed him. They didn't listen. I keep getting, they didn't listen over and over and over again. And they're not going to listen now either.
What happens?
Oh. He stayed.
He stayed in Rome?
Yeah. He stayed and he saw it fall from the inside.
Oh.
This is why he doesn't want to be here this time.
Uh-huh.
I've seen this movie.
Uh-huh.
That's the message. And there's energetic work to be done in where he wants to go. He can do his work there too.
Can you tell me more? You said he has energetic work to do there?
It's spreading the light. There's not many here from this planet. I don't know if it's in Andromeda, but something makes this light special.
Tell me about that. This light from Andromeda, it makes...
Yeah, it's in Andromeda somewhere. I don't know if I know the planet.
That's okay.
But the specialness about the light is that it aligns with Earth energy, even though it's much higher.
Tell me
So
about that.
it doesn't have to adjust itself too much. So when he's walking and being, and he's a vessel for this light to come through. And so he can do that there. And this light is much higher, but it's like sometimes you need an adapter to use things in other countries. And sometimes energy is like that. And it can't be used exactly. It has to transmute somehow. And this energy it somehow aligns with Earth, so it can come through in its pure form, and it can be it doesn't have to undergo a change or a step down or I can just come through straight.
So Andromeda energy doesn't need an adapter because it's
This part of Andromeda? Because Andromeda is a galaxy, right?
yeah.
But wherever this planet is, oh, I know what it is. It's I'm getting a trombone analogy now. So the note is the same.
Oh.
So let's say it's a G. Let's say Earth is a G.
Mm-hmm.
This planet is also a G, but it's much higher.
Mm-hmm. Many octaves higher.
Many octaves higher. I think beyond count, but it doesn't have to change because it's still a G.
Yeah.
This is a gross. This is not a perfect analogy.
That's okay. It's
But
all energy.
it gives enough of the idea.
Absolutely.
This is why I'm on Earth.
Oh.
Because there aren't many people to translate the higher chord. That's the same chord.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever chord Earth is, this planet also is that chord.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a much higher chord. So when energy comes from other places,
Mm-hmm.
it can disturb things, and there's no disturbance with this energy. It's higher and finer and all that, but it's the same chord. That's really interesting.
So it sounds like his energy can kind of work seamlessly around on Earth.
Yes, it's a seamless transition. That sent tingles through the body. That's a yes. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and that description you mentioned, he needed to bridge the gap. Jowlen was saying that he needed to bridge the gap.
Because the chord is the same, the earth body lines up with the body here. So it's like a sandwich, where the one piece of bread lines up with the other piece of bread.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think there are others from this planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like these are special places, and so.
Well, he's moved around quite a lot in his life.
He has, but on the home planet, they're special places.
Oh,
like there are pyramids in Egypt, and there are pyramids in Mexico, and there are pyramids.
Yeah.
And so there are only certain places on that planet to go, and so I think that's why there are a ton of people from this specific planet. So I'm in one of those temples.
Tell me about the temple. One of these places that you can go.
Yeah, it's one of the grand temples. And so my body there is in stasis. It's I'm both places at once.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that it's like, what's the word? It's not hibernation per se, but the body is holding the physical space to transmute, project the energy from there to here with this body. So it's like a double exposed photograph.
Oh. Okay.
So the energy, there's alignment.
Mm-hmm.
When the energy there is aligned with the energy here.
Mm-hmm.
And all the work that he wasn't sure about got us to this place in linear time where his body was now ready for the full brunt of the energy.
And now that his body's ready for the full brunt of the energy, what happens?
It's now a constant stream. He sees people, interacts with people. He doesn't have to do anything but be. When the energy's flowing, he doesn't have to focus. He doesn't have to think. It's this constant energy exchange. That's always happening, and now the conduit is fully open. That's why vocation doesn't matter. That was that message.
Right. The vocation's not matter.
The body, the vessel is the vessel. Real estate is real estate. Writing is writing. But the energy comes through the body.
Does location matter?
Yes and no. There are denser energies where he's going. There are denser energies in Oklahoma, but there are enough light workers now here. And he has felt called to that place for a long time. And now is the time to go.
And where is that?
In Bangkok, like he thinks about.
Okay. And what's that going to be like?
So much fun. There's this duality. The duality of it is that his physical self here will enjoy it, and the experiences will be good. But that almost doesn't matter. What matters is the deeper work of the energy exchange. That happens, and so he will travel and see things, and there are special places he will go. And the higher frequencies from there, from the planet, the whole planet will tie into. He is going places to anchor the home energy.
I was wondering if the location would be important.
Yeah, so there, it is and it isn't, all at the same time. And so,
where are the special places?
The one would be he's already been. Maybe he goes back. Is Angkor Wat in Cambodia, but there are temples and shrines and cities, and you may even need to share this energy with people. But there are places, a lot of which I think are temples and shrines on earth, that he will go and anchor his energy. This energy from the home planet. Something like this already happened when he went to Europe. He went to there's a temple of Archangel Michael, of Saint Michael, in Bordeaux, and he didn't know why he went. He knew he was supposed to be there, but it was anchoring the energy from the home planet. And so just going and being in these places, because the energy is flowing out of them, this is rough language, but there are hooks in these temples and special places that the energy from there will hook into. So his presence will help connect those energies. It's like a string from one place to another. And so it will like hook up the energy. It's like you seeing a video game. In the video game, it's like, oh, that's so funny. There is there's a game. The game doesn't matter. It's a famous game. The name escapes us. But in this video game, there are puzzles, and often the puzzles involve light reflecting, and you have to move the pieces and these temples to shine the light to get and all the work that he's been doing. And that in some ways we completed here was aligning things to fully be able to transmit the light. And so now those lights can shine to these other places.
I see.
Using his vessel.
Yeah.
And so some places are shrines and it might just be people sometimes, but when he went to the place in Bordeaux, all he did was make a full circle of the church, of the chapel. Oh, that helped ground the energy. That's all he needs to do. That he won't need to do anything special. He won't need to break into the temples. He won't need to. He can go be a tourist and put his money in and tour around the temple, and that is enough to ground this higher energy.
And what benefit is this when he's hooking his energy from Andromeda to these places on Earth? What does
so the words ascension are used often. These hooks, these ties to these places at various points on Earth will help pull Earth upwards. Because this is the same chord, and there is no adjustment that necessary. Earth and these places can ride that link back up to the higher place, wherever this place is in Andromeda. It's almost like now I'm getting a picture of a lever system. It's like anchors in all these places, and then when these things are hooked, and with enough hooks, they can start being, that's why there's people in other places. Those people are placing hooks in other places on the Earth. And we'll be placing hooks where we place hooks. They're hooking into it. And so those connections, with enough connections, the weight of the energy weight of the Earth, this other place will be able to support the two, and there'll be a direct link to bring Earth up to this higher frequency. This is already happening, but what makes this planet special is the chord. It's the same chord. It's a higher chord with the same note or notes. That's why this place is special. All the other work is important, but the unique aspect of this planet it's the same chord as Earth, like we said, but a higher version, a higher note.
And I'm wondering, does this have anything to do with, he was wondering what's the point of his life? How would you tell him if this has anything to do with that, or if there's something else?
Words are hard for this. He understands. He's seeing the pictures. There are many bridges, but he will help be a bridge. As Earth gets closer and as Earth approaches its higher frequency, his experiences on Earth, since it's the same note, will help the transition. And while it is hard for him to be here, this is still the home frequency. It is the lowest version of the home frequency.
I see. Yeah, he was saying he's just getting kind of tired of all this growth and spiritual work he's been doing, though.
This is not an easy mission.
Yeah. What would you tell him about that? He's feeling like done with all the work he's doing.
He feels so often that he has failed or hasn't done it. But what he doesn't understand is that just by being here, the work is being done. And all the work that he has done has helped. But he didn't understand. He understands now. The vibration is special because it matches Earth's vibration. That was the key. That was is that it matches. And there are many other places like this. This is an exact match for Earth's tone at a much, much, much higher octave. So he is being a bridge between the two. So he doesn't need to do anything. That's why we said vocation doesn't matter. Just the presence is the important part. The physical location on the earth plane was what was necessary. This is also why he likes to travel. It's more places to hook into. It's almost like a spider's web with a pulling and rising.
Okay. And he saw himself, when he was doing the Lee Harris meditations, saw himself on stage speaking. Can you tell him more about that?
He won't like to hear about this, but someday he will be talking about this energy.
Well, what can you tell him about that?
Sorry, we were finding the words.
Okay. You're doing great.
There's something about his voice. There's also a reflection of this home vibration frequency that resonates. That also ties in. It's another way to ground. The speaking is another way to ground. Before we said how the vocation doesn't matter, it's almost as if the words don't matter. The words will be important, of course, but the words are words. The words are vibration, but that's not the importance. The importance is the chord and the vibration. The words carry the vibration. What will he be speaking about? I don't know if we see that yet. I don't know if we're allowed to see that yet.
Okay.
Just know that the words are more home vibration. And then when they leave his mouth, it's like we see waves. And when those waves hit people, it will affect the people in the audience. And they will take that in their own systems. And it will be like spreading the vibration from this higher plane or planet. And we see this energy coming out of his mouth. There's a picture we can reference from his memory of putting dye in liquids, and you can see waves going through this dye, and those waves will hit these people. Those waves are his speech.
Wow, that's awesome.
So
it doesn't matter what he's talking about because the vibration of his voice will do the work.
Correct. It's the same concept as the vocation doesn't matter. He could be a writer. He could be a garbage person. He could be an economist, a finance. Okay, the vibration is the vibration. He resonates with certain things, but the vibration is the most important part. It is the important part.
Okay. That's good to know. Is there anyone else from his direct soul group incarnated here right now?
this is why it's tough. The soul group is standing around him on the home planet.
Oh.
So they are supporting him. He feels emotional.
Yeah.
Because they're there. This was a tough, it's a tough volunteering. So the other places on the planet are other people with their groups.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there might be other people from my planet, but I'm the only one from this group.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Because they have to hold the energy there.
Oh.
They're standing around me in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So they help hold the energy and help tie the energy into my body there so I can connect to my body here. It's literally a group effort. They have not abandoned me.
Mm-hmm.
We're all in this together. But the person who comes, it's the toughest for the person who, that's what they keep saying, it's toughest for the person who comes.
Yeah, he feels alone here. What would you say for him about that?
Now that he knows what this feels like and that we're there, he can just tap into this knowledge. He attracts kindred spirits.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to say, he'll run into someone from this particular planet, but we are there with him as he is there, and he is also here. So it is a group effort. It takes all of us to do this, but he is the one in this temple, in this place that is directly connected to Earth at the moment. I think others have done the work, and he has stood in support, but now he is the worker and we are the support.
Oh, so they've traded positions.
Correct.
Is there any connection with this group, his direct soul group and the Jowlen?
Yes, I keep getting the purple color with the Jowlen are blue, and this group is purple, and they're close enough in vibration to work with one another.
Oh.
So it's like in the quantum realm, the Jowlen are making sure the adjustments are working. So there's the group in the purple realm, and the Jowlens work in the blue realm to make sure the connection is working and complete and solid, and they're basically checking. It's like this is rough language, but the engine on an aircraft carrier needs to be monitored, and so that's what the Jowlen are doing. So the Jowlen are attending to the connection and attending to the lower vibrations, because I think it's hard for a higher vibration where the purple planet is. They can't make the connection to here. So the Jowlen are able to bridge the gap.
Oh.
And that's what I saw when in Europe after the light star. It was the Jowlen energy, and it was my home planet energy. Those are the energy colors I saw.
Yeah. And you told him earlier that the Jowlen not only bridge the gap and make sure things are working well. You mentioned they were testing.
Yeah, testing the density of Earth, because there are adjustments to be made. The Earth is so dense that sometimes the energy systems can collapse. That was the crown chakra issue. That's how that happened.
Oh, can you tell me more about that? He was wondering if that had anything to do with his ADHD.
There was a proclivity for it. There's also a misunderstanding of ADHD. ADHD is also a higher vibration, thinking faster, perceiving faster. Some of that is a reflection of the planet, the home planet. Some of that is the density of Earth. People with what they call ADHD, there's a lack of acclimatization.
Mm-hmm.
It could have made it worse.
What was the purpose for him to experience something like that?
The energy system was in danger of collapsing.
Oh.
So what seemed like a gross maneuver, or it was kind of what's the word? Like in a movie where they have to do the thing, and it's like the last chance. The energy system. The Earth body was having a hard time maintaining the connection to where the purple planet is.
Oh.
And if the crown chakra had collapsed, all the rest of the chakras would have collapsed, and the connection would have been lost or damaged. And that was the end of the movie, the last ditch way to make sure it didn't collapse. And while it caused some physical trauma, it allowed the energy system's work to go on to keep the connection.
What emotion did he experience when it was on its way of collapse?
I see this folding in, like this crumpling up.
And where was that stored in the body?
Well, the crown chakra anchored it, but I think this is why he feels the need to curl up, because the energy system was curling up.
Oh, the whole body?
Correct.
Ah.
It was like the crown chakra anchor point. Losing that would have caused the system to kind of fold in on itself energetically. This may also have something to do with the not the kidneys, but the discomfort he's been feeling recently of the system collapsing in.
Oh.
So this realization may help with that healing.
Well, what was the purpose for him to feel that sort of verge of collapse with his urinary tract, kidneys, and the tension between the base, the root, and the sacral?
It's almost like an echo of the original injury with the crown. It's like it's almost like a shadow or an echo. That's a more accurate term.
Echo. An echo of the original.
The original trauma. Yes.
Yeah. And what was he hoping to learn from having this sort of second experience with that verge of collapse?
Well, now he has an even greater perspective on why it happened and the reasoning behind it. That will help heal his earth mind. The reason. I think the word is unfoldment. This will be an unfoldment, but it's like the energy systems will be fully able to stretch out or relax into their original form before the damage happened. So this is almost like a reconnection.
Okay. Is there any continued, is this serving him anymore? Now that he understands
No, he can let this go.
In both the kidney and the urinary areas?
Correct. The kidneys shall be released over time as the energy flows. And no more. He can let go of this. It will clear up on its own.
Okay. And can you heal and release that now, since it no longer is serving him?
We can attend to that.
Oh, thank you. Well, how are you doing that?
Oh, we speak as the collective now. This is interesting. His personality is getting used. Oh, this is how we are.
Oh, tell
This
me
is
more.
interesting. This is how we work. We work as small collectives
Yeah.
of shared mind and energy. So yes, we can help release this.
Okay.
He does not need this. He's finding this an interesting experience because he forgot about this.
Oh. So the collective mind and energy is healing and releasing this now?
Yes, we are a group. We are a collective. We are
How are you all doing that?
we have to broadcast the. We're not. We want to make an Earth joke. Hold, please, because we're trying to get the Earth brain to understand. We call this higher physics. How do we explain this? He is a writer, but there still are no words. It is an attunement. It is. There is no separation. So us working together here fixes it there, since there is no. It's quantum entanglement. It's higher physics. It's. He needed to be able to see it from there in order for us to fix it from here. There needed to be realizations on both ends of the tunnel, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
It's like, that's what quantum entanglement is. It's two things separated that are actually connected.
Yes.
And so the collective, have the realization here. He did not have the realization there. And now that realization has been connected, now the healing can happen.
Okay, so is he sensing anything as you heal?
Yeah, he feels tingling.
Uh-huh.
He sees the group of us. It's hard for him to see with his earth eyes, but he understands that he is in this, what you would call, prone position, and we surround him, and he now has the realization on the earth plane about the connection to us here, and so the energy can flow and be dissipated. So we are doing that presently.
Mm-hmm.
We are not sure if that will cause sensations in the earth plane, but we are attending to it here, and because of the quantum entanglement, the connection, it will clear itself there. Okay. We have been aware of this for a while. We know. We are all connected, so we all know. We know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So all of his complaints and gripes and fears, we are aware of. We see it in the energy here. This body picks it up, what he's experiencing there. So we are, as the collective, are attending to it. If it is not done now, it will be done later. So it is done.
Okay. Well, thank you. And you promise it won't come back?
There can always be echoes.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he is aware of this connection, it will be much easier for him to clear. Earth is very dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Earth is polluted in many, many ways. And so that vessel there can still pick up pollution.
I see.
And so the system, it's like a filtration system. And so at one end of the fish tank, there's ink. And it has to be brought to the other end of the fish tank, the filter.
Mm-hmm.
There is still disparity between those, but it will eventually become filtered. And his awareness can speed up the filtration.
Mm-hmm.
So it is being an open system here. Here's the rub. The rub is we are open and he is open. And so pollution is inevitable.
Mm.
So that is part of the process in order to open ourselves up and be this frequency, this matching higher octave earth frequency. Mixation, that's not the right word, but that conveys the message, is inevitable. That is known, that is accounted for, but the higher awareness has helped. The higher awareness has helped make the energy system a more conscious connection. So now, excuse. Now he is aware that he can send the energy back here to have it cleared without having to carry it as much in physicality.
Wonderful. So now he's more hooked into that energy and he can clear it right away.
Correct. Through us and the collective and him being part of the collective.
Okay.
We say him because that is his earth gender.
Oh.
That will be more easily cleared.
Oh. Does he have a different gender on the other planet?
I don't know if there are words. There's a part of him that's smiling because it's so different. You think there are genders. This is he speaking as them now. Before it was us speaking as that. It's all very confusing because there's the collective and there's also the individuated consciousness.
Right.
Do we have genders?
Is it important?
No, but he's trying to remember what it's like. We know the answer, but the answer isn't coming through. We think there are genders. We're not sure of what the physical bodies here look like. He's having fun keeping. There's the separate and there's the collective. Either way, genders don't matter. There are different genders, but he's re-remembering how the collective mind works.
Would it help for him to also know what their bodies look like, now that he's understanding he's part of that collective?
I think the issue is that these bodies, this is like, the problem is that this is one of the higher levels of physicality. And so bodies can cycle back and forth. And so there can be a body and there can not be a body.
Okay.
The main energy is purple, which would be, this is the blues and the purples of the 5th, 6th, and 7th chakras. Those are the main colors of this planet.
Would it be appropriate to call you the Purple Energy Collective?
That's a good enough name for now. It's like if we're in bodies, we have suits that are purple. You might see our skin is silverish. I think the bodies will be humanoid, but almost alien humanoid, but of a finer. Yeah, it's hard to. I also think there are less rules of form on this planet, and there seems to be more choice. So I think there's a range, which is why the question earlier was harder to answer.
Sure.
So there is silvery skin in purple suits, but there could be purple colors. There could be bluish skin. The Jowlen, even though they're a bridge, can physically manifest here. So there is there is a collective, and we are here as a group. Would we say we are physical right now? We would say that we're bridging the gap. So the collective at this moment in this temple is both physical and non-physical.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's parts of us that are cloudy. Maybe that's what he's seeing. So there's part physical body and part cloudy kind of energy. Not cloudy like opaque. Cloudy like floaty, like vapors, like
Okay.
it's what's it good? You know how what dry ice looks like when it's sublimating, when it's melting, and how the gas kind of rolls off as it goes from solid to gas.
Yes.
That is kind of that is the best way that we can describe the junction of matter and energy.
I see. Okay.
Is that it's like these waves of energy are coming off this physical body, and they almost it looks kind of like dry ice. That's the earth way to describe it.
Is it fair to say that the energy is visibly, you can see it visually?
Yes, it rolls off. It's almost like the gas coming off of dry ice. It's like this constant.
So it's visible to the eye.
Correct.
The sensation. Oh. And is there anything about his ADHD he needs to know?
Meditation would help. He's begun that process.
Okay.
We don't want to limit the process at this session, but a lot of questions were answered in the energy attunement.
Great. I had a feeling.
So I think he understands that a lot of the things that he used to worry about with how the vocation doesn't matter.
He wanted to know the time frame too. Does that matter? When he would go to Bangkok. He was thinking within.
Yes, we have to readjust to Earth.
Ooh.
There's a lot of upheaval on Earth at the moment, which makes things harder to see. It feels like now he will know when to go. He will know how he feels once he comes back from Bangkok.
Okay.
He will know he is good at feeling, and that answer will be clear.
Okay.
And he can feel how the answer will be clear, and so it doesn't. We're not sure if we can access the answer at the moment, but he understands that an answer given here is less important than the feeling of when he comes back.
Okay.
And that feeling will answer a lot of his questions on Earth timing and Earth things. And he's laughing about two things. A, he forgot about the collective. And being on Earth in a very individualized body. He's laughing because he forgot about the collective and what that feels like. So there's some adjustment there. But he understands that it doesn't matter what would be said now. Is that feeling is his most important compass. And so how he feels when he gets back will inform his decision. It could be earlier. It could be. And in fact, it may be. But he will know. We don't need to give an answer. He will know, and now he knows that he will know.
Okay.
So once he goes, he will know what to do when he comes back.
Okay. And to venture just for a moment longer in earth-based energies, the experience of Tulsa, what was the purpose? He felt waves of anger and felt like he had wasted his time there. But he also knew that he was opening the heart of his ex.
Yes. Being in Tulsa was important, and now we don't want to say his questions have dissipated, but the connection to the home planet has reminded him that the thing that's important is being on Earth. It doesn't. It was difficult, no doubt. It is difficult. It continues to be difficult.
It is so hard here sometimes.
It is. The energy is heavy, and he helped. He knows he helped. He would have said he helped before he got here today, but it's just so hard and heavy, and the Light Star ceremony was a way to grant an additional level of autonomy so that he wouldn't feel stuck. Because the higher self has certainly volunteered for things, and that was part of it. And the higher self is through us, the collective. And there was heavy energy to clear. And now others can take that mantle. He doesn't have to be there. He, the Anna soul, he loves that soul very much.
He thought they'd been together many times before.
There is much love between those two souls. She is not of the collective, but the connection is strong. We think they met on Earth. We're not sure we have access to that information, but that is a strong, strong connection. He doesn't need to. He's worried about Earth things, but that is not what was important. The important part was the soul connection. The Earth things he mentioned, the gambling addiction, and these are things. These are like vocations. These are things that don't matter. So he will begin to understand that fixating on Earth things are not soul things. So I guess there was a soul connection, and yes, he did help, and yes, she was a little lost. In some ways, they were both lost. He was just lost in the energy of Earth. He has never lost his connection to us, but it is hard, and sometimes you forget. So yes, they were supposed to meet. There is deep love in that soul connection. She is not of the collective. He met her outside the collective. She is. She is the star he met amongst the stars when he was away from the collective.
See. Can you tell me more about that?
He was drawn. We're not even sure this is Earth. But being from the collective, he understands that a journey was to be made. And that soul caught his eye, would be the wrong phrase, but that spark caught his attention. And he wanted to know more or see more. And I'm not even sure that connection may be before Earth, outside of Earth, but there is a definite connection there. So he can get angry at the Earth things. He is allowed to do whatever whatever he wants. But that connection goes beyond Earth. That is a soul level connection. And they will be connected again. He has already gotten that answer from the Akashics. that may not even be on Earth time. He is aware that their journey is not over. It is over for this life.
Mm-hmm.
But this life is a moment.
I see. What else about the Akashic class or the Akashics that he's seen is important for him to keep in mind right now? Who knows?
We are going through the files.
Oh.
There is no delay from the collective, but there is a delay with the earth matter, the earth brain. There is a translation, and he searches for the words. He also thinks it's funny talking in the third person. May you repeat the question, please?
Yes, he's wondering what else is important about the Akashics.
He is wondering about the light from the last regression, from the last QHHT.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is choice. That life is not the collective. That life is a denser life, not as dense as Earth, but he will be able to investigate the Earth lives in the themes. There are themes that run across lifetimes and choices, and we are seeing brackets of groups of lives and groups of themes, and that is what that life would be in that denser future linear time to Earth would be. And that is a choice, and he will learn to investigate, but the collective is higher. That is not the collective bragging, that is the collective talking as a reference, an energetic reference. And source is above us. But this planet, there may not be a name for this planet, that there would be this planet has a name. Earth cannot translate that name.
By any chance, since you did describe it as being many octaves higher than Earth, is there a sound that would be translatable through the human voice?
He is now hearing the pulselic thing. He does not like singing. He may be blocking this.
Okay.
But he knows the vibration is the vibration we hear is similar to what was in the pulselic, but the vibration is the higher Earth vibration. So it's the resonance of Earth. It's we don't want to call music simplistic because music is music, but there's a scope and scale to the chord that is hard to put into words because of it is a for lack of a better word, it is a grand note. It is a grand symphony. And like we said, that resonance, that symphony, that note is the same. It's just on a much, much higher octave.
I see. Okay. And that would be the sound. That would be his planet's name.
Correct. It's like sound waves are frequencies. Light is a frequency. This is also a frequency. And we are trying to use rough Earth language. It's that this planet is the planet that has the same note, the same octave. It's the same note. It's almost in a perfect alignment with Earth, but at a much higher frequency. So we could attempt to make a noise, but that can't begin to encapsulate what the sound, symphony. The notes are the music.
I think I understand. And that's why I was wondering if it's translatable through the human voice. It doesn't sound like it could be.
No, he is. He's giving an example of the. He's searching his earth memories. The monks who can. The Tibetan monks with the multiple tones.
Yes.
This is orders of magnitude greater than that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm.
It's the earth that takes years and years of training, and that is but 2 frequencies, 2 tones, and this is much greater. So it would be we're not sure what possible, and even if it were possible, it would be like someone trying to play a trumpet that doesn't know how to play the trumpet, and it just sounds terrible.
Yep. Well, this is all very fascinating, coming from background as a trombone player who also makes very unusual sounds. So you may have a conversation later about that.
Yeah, the conversation can be had.
Yeah. Well, I want to make sure that he is feeling like his questions have been answered. Are there any topics we have missed or he'd like to expound upon?
The alignment was what he needed.
Okay.
That was what he came here for.
Yes.
He yawned a lot. That was a huge energy.
That was amazing.
That was why he came. So that he could remember, even as we are talking about this, his body is beginning to tingle again.
Well, it seems like each time he does something energetic, no matter what the modality, he's deepening.
Yes, this is true.
He's becoming more available to finer
Correct.
energies.
A better transducer, a better a speaker.
Amplifier.
Yes. A better projector of sound, of the purity, of the conveying the sound without what's the word? There's a purity to the sound, and the more work that he does, the clearer the sound is, the purer the tone. Those are the right words. The more pure the tone. And so, as we said, vocation doesn't matter, and almost vessel doesn't matter. He can get angry at politics. That is irrelevant to the tone. That is irrelevant to the vibration. That could cloud the tone. These. The collective, the planet, this goes beyond Earth, this goes beyond Earth personality, this goes beyond, there is, sorry, we were looking for the words.
It's okay.
It is like trying to describe source energy. And when you're at that level, there is only source, there is nothing else. And so with us in this collective, there is only the tone and there is no else. Yes, we are a collective, and yes, we also are individuals. But our function is the tone, our focus is the tone. And so in this regard, that is all that matters. He is a vessel for the tone. Even when he's angry, he's broadcasting the signal. Even when he's sad, the signal is still broadcasting. These are things his physical body feels. It does not change the tone. It does not change the music. The music is playing no matter what he is doing or feeling, which is why this goes beyond emotion and beyond tone. And like we said, emotion is that's how he navigates the world, is through emotion. But it's like the sun shines even when there are clouds. And even when you can't see, the sun is still there shining. The tone is still, the broadcast is still happening, regardless of how he feels or what's happening or his mood. The tone is still happening. He is the conduit.
Wonderful. And who have I been speaking with today?
We are the collective. We are the, we say the collective because in the same way that it would be hard, it would be near impossible to communicate the frequency that we're on that aligns with the earth frequency. The earth tones do not translate our names. It is hard. It is. He's sitting there trying to. He is waiting here to see if there are names.
That's okay.
He knows who we are.
Wow.
He sees us. He is aware of being surrounded by us. And we may have names that we use, but we are not sure if that translates to earth. So he knows us. Oh, it's the memory of being part of the collective. He is finding interesting wrapping his head around it from the earth perspective.
And how is it going to be like after? How will he connect with the collective?
He is aware of the light. He is aware of the purple. He is aware of the feeling. He is aware of the fissure. He is aware of the fissure filling his spine with energy. He just has to revisualize this to get back in touch. And that doesn't mean he won't have hard days or bad days or poopy days or all the different words there are for bad days on earth. But he just has to remember the connection, the tone. And the tone is, from his perspective, is more of an energy. In fact, I think the tone is above anything the human ear could hear.
That makes sense. If it's such a high frequency that it doesn't exist on Earth.
Correct.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for all of your help. Is there anything else? Do you have any parting words for him?
Just remember that he is part of the collective, and the loneliness that he feels is only one can be in the position that he's in the temple. So we are of service and supporting him as he is on the journey. And we all go through this, and we've all shared in this. And he understands that now. And he may run into others, because there are other places on this planet. We are more affiliated with this temple. And so that may feel like a connection. But yes, we are the collective. We are he, and we are the others, and we are who he is and where he is from and his family. That is who we are.
Thank you. Now I'm asking the higher self.